Hey everybody, it's Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. How are you guys? I'm so happy to be here with you again today. I have a really adorable project. I have fell in love with these adorable owls. I think they are the cutest, and I love that they're free during celebrations. So for the month of January and February, you can pick one of them for free, and I love that. This is the freebie. You have to purchase $50 in the US. So the Something Fancy bundle is a great thing to purchase. And we are going to be using the Something Fancy bundle today. So that's on page 17 right here. And it's $45.75. So if you add that and a thing of adhesive, or like you could get a pack of dimensionals, that would be enough to earn your owls for free. There's fantastic sentiments in this bundle, and you can see the dies, how they cut out these sentiments perfectly. So I'm going to show you that real quick. Here are the dies. So you get 2 nested tags and then this really cute hexagon. And then you get 3 nested of this size, 2 nested of this size. You have this to cut out a set of words. And then these pieces here, you put them into the tag and they cut out a decorative hole or an embellished hole section at the top of your tag. This also cuts out a really cute little leafy branch, which is super cute. So definitely check out this bundle. It might be something that you haven't seen in the mini. We're going to use it today. You guys know how much I love my shapes. So of course, layering circles is probably my #1 most used. I use the Give It a Whirl dies a lot because see all of these cute embellishments that come with it. You have the hearts, the clouds, they're all stitched. The stars, I just think this is a fantastic little addition when you get shapes. Add that to your stash. All right, let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna move these guys out of the way. And I'm gonna pull out this die because we're gonna need the largest of this nested die here in a few minutes. So I'm just gonna pull it out and get it ready. All right. My daughter's bunny is in here with me. So if you hear anything, of course it's him. So what do I have in this adorable owls box? First, let me show you the box a little bit more in detail. So if you have the owl on the front, this fantastic paper is the Abigail Rose paper. It's in the annual catalog. I think it's perfect for Valentine's Day. One of the little stitched hearts from the Give It a Whirl die is in our owl's hands. And then I'm going to bring you around here, the side. There's a closure. And I have the little tiny stitched heart for the closure. And then this end is scalloped. You probably can't tell, but if in person, you can see that it is a little scalloped edge. And then when you open your box, how cute is it that you have a chocolate owl inside? And then we have another scalloped edged piece. Hoot, hoot, you're so cute. And then your box opens right here on the side. You have a spot here to write a sentiment. And you can move your words over here if you wanted to and not put them on top of the owl. I may do that this time just to show you a different way. And then the box opens here on the side. And there is your chocolate owl inside. Now I'm going to show you the owl because we're going to put him on our next project. But how cute is this project? I hope I was in camera for that whole scene. We're just going to hope and pray that I was. Since I don't edit my videos, you get what you get. Real life crafting here, guys. So here is the owls, and you guys are going to be like, where did you get them? Well, I got them at my local dollar store, and they come in this holder. So I wanted you to see it. They have dog, polar bear, owl, raccoon, frog, and unicorn. And I had to get the little owl to go with our adorable owls, but you could get any one of these little critters. And so this is what we are going to be using. But this box is so big. I mean, look at how small he is in actuality. And I just didn't think that we needed this huge box. So when I gift it, I'm going to gift it like this. And so I'm going to show you how to do the same. So let me just move this to the side. I'm going to take my chocolate covered owl to the side as well. And we're going to go ahead and get started. So you need a piece of cardstock. You can only get one of these boxes out of one sheet. And that's because we are doing this wraparound box with the window. So because of this extra flap here, you can't get two out of a sheet. But I think it's worth it. It's a very cool box. So this piece here is 5 1/4 inches by 11 inches long. I'm gonna get my Simply Scored out. We're gonna start with that. Whoops, sorry guys, flinging things around. All right, make sure I'm in camera. I think I am. So here's my 11-inch length. And we're gonna start first with the 5 1/4 inch score mark. And I know you're not gonna be able to see me score all the way to the bottom, but trust me, I'm going all the way to the edge of the paper. And so on the short side, you're gonna score at 5/8 of an inch. So we're gonna count 5 ticks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's 5/8. And we're gonna work our way down. I'm holding it from the top. I'm sliding my finger as I go just to really keep good pressure. And I'm gonna do twice, just to make sure that I have a nice impression in my cardstock. Our cardstock is quite thick and I like to go over it twice. This next score mark is at 4 5/8. So we're gonna do 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we will work our way down this one twice as well. Okay, so there's our mark. And so now we're gonna turn our piece so that those two score marks, now you can see both of them. And we're gonna score down the long side. And we're gonna start over here at the 10 1/4 inch mark, okay? I'm kind of scoring backwards, but that's okay. You guys will follow me. Then I'm going to move down to the 7 1/4 inch mark. 6 5/8. So we're going to go 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's that one. 3 5/8. So 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the last one is at 3. Okay. So again, 10 1/4, 7 1/4, 6 5/8, 3 5/8, and 3. And you're going to want to do it this way, the way I did it backwards, because we have a 3 1/8 inch piece here. This is the flap that we're going to put over, and I wanted it to be a tiny bit too long, and we're going to trim it down, but you don't want it to be too short. So that's why instead of cutting off that 1/8 of an inch, I left it, and we're going to play with that with our scissors in a little while. So we're going to score one more piece. We have a 1/2 inch piece by 4 inches of early espresso, and that is our little tag or our wrap closure here. So for this wrap closure, the first thing that I want to do is I want to punch it and put that little scalloped edge into it first. So I'm going to run it down here, down my 1/2 inch marker, and I'm going to slide it in here, and I'm going to first do that cute little scallop. Hopefully you guys can see that. Okay. So I'm going to put the scalloped end at this edge, and we're going to go 5/8 of an inch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's the first one. And the second one is at 1 1/4. So 1 and 2 ticks is 1/4. So 1 1/4. So those are the two score marks. So remember, punch it first, do 5/8 of an inch, 1 1/4 inch. So those are the score marks for that piece. So now those are the only two things that are getting scored. I'm going to go ahead and move our simply scoreboard out of the way, and we are going to start burnishing. So I'll start on this narrow little strip first. All right, so there's that one. And just set that to the side. And on this one, I'm gonna do down the long lengths first. I'm gonna flip to the other side. Okay, and now we're gonna start down the long side. So there's one. Almost there, one more after this one. And then we're gonna do some cutting. Now the espresso piece doesn't need to be cut at all, which is the one I set off to the side. But we are gonna cut this piece and get it ready. So this piece here is gonna be the side that comes in on our box. And this piece is gonna be our little fold over flap right here, okay? So I just want to work our way through our piece. We're going to do our cutting first. So just give me 1 second. I have misplaced my scissor. I don't know what I did with it, but we're going to figure it out. We're definitely going to find it here. Oh wait, here we go. All right. So I'm using my wide bladed scissor because to me that is the best scissor to use. I love our snips and I do use them for all my fussy cutting, but the blades are super thin and I want a nice thick bladed scissor. So I'm going to use that. And we're going to come in here and we're going to get rid of this section here and this section here. So we're going to start with that. Okay. So we're going to come down this way. And we're going to get rid of this one as well. So I'm working my way down. There's the first one. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So we're going to come down this side here. And then down this side here. And that is the front of our piece. So this is the part that folds over. Okay, now these pieces here, we're going to tab those. Okay, so this one's going to get cut up and we're going to angle cut that. Same here, we're going to come straight up and then angle cut it. So there's your first tab. I'm going to move this little guy out of the way. And we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to come straight up and then we're going to tab and then we're going to tab this end. Okay, so there's one side. Let's do the other same thing on the opposite side. So we're going to just turn it around. We're going to come straight up, tab, up, tab, and then we're going to come up and tab, and then just tab this end here. Okay, I'm going to show you. So this is the front flap. This comes up. These two little small tabs here are going to get tucked in and glued onto that piece here to form our box. That's our box section. Here we're going to cut a window out of it. And then these pieces will be on the outside and it'll be glued down. Okay. And then these tabs here are going to tuck into the box. Okay. and they're gonna keep our box closed right there. Then this will fold around, and then this will be our front of our box, and we're gonna have a little tab to go around it. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is these tabs that are gonna go tucked in, we just need to trim off about 1/8 of an inch, not very much, but we need to just cut a little bit off, get rid of that bulk. So I'm gonna lay this down for you guys to look, and if you wanna grab a screenshot of what I have cut away, I'm gonna try and straighten it out for you, and then I will put this piece right here so that you can grab a screenshot while I tidy this up, and then I'm gonna bring in my machine and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna cut the window out of this piece here in the middle, okay? So you should be able to grab your screenshot there. All right, so the window is actually gonna be not out of the middle piece, it's gonna be out of this piece with the shorter cut tabs because it's gonna be the front of our box. So we're gonna put our die on this piece and we're gonna cut that part out. So let me go ahead and bring that into the camera. The little one won't work. This box is a little bit too big, so we're gonna do our big guy here. I'm gonna turn it sideways. I think it's a little easier for you guys to see that way. And we'll go ahead and grab our platform number 1, number 2, cutting plate 3. I'm going to lay my piece on here. When I'm happy with the placement, I'm going to go ahead and put my second number 3 plate, and I'm actually going to put it all the way here because I don't need it to cut but the one piece out. So I slid it all the way in, and I'm just going to push this in till it grabs, and once it starts to grab, I will turn my hand crank, hold the top, and on the other side we're going to take our die off, and there is our cute little hole. I'm going to pull this piece out, get our little machine out of the way. And we're going to use that piece that we cut out on the inside. That's going to be the part that you write on later, so we're going to hang on to that. But we can go ahead and put this die back before I lose it. You guys ever do some die cutting and then your desk is like a disaster when you're done with your project and then you can't find what you did? So I try and put it away as I go so that I have very little problems later. All right. So then this is going to start. We're going to go ahead and glue our window sheet next. Our window sheet piece is 2.5 by 3.5 inches. And so that's going to go right here over the top on the inside where we're not going to see it. So what I'm going to do is use some wet adhesive, and I'm just going to go around these edges and then straight around my label area here. You don't need much of this adhesive. It's a very strong adhesive and a little goes a long way. So we're gonna go ahead and attach our window sheet over the top, and I'm just gonna press it down so that it really adheres, and it'll dry clear. So even if you need to see this side, it will dry clear. So that's the nice thing about this adhesive. All right, so while we're waiting for that to completely adhere, let's work on our owl. I'm just gonna set this to the side. So I have already stamped and colored our owl. So this is the one with the party hat. And what I did was I used some tape before I stamped it. So I took a piece of tape and I actually used two thinner pieces. So I started one and I covered this part of the hat first. Then I took the second one and I didn't want to get that hair. See how he has kind of hair that sticks up? So I didn't want to miss those. So I went ahead and when I did this one, I laid it right along the line of that party hat, which misses his hair that's sticking up there. And then I inked that into my Memento ink pad. Then I pulled my tape pieces off, stamped him down, and there's the owl without the little hat on. So you can mask with just a piece of Scotch tape. Then to color him in, I used the soft suede light and dark, which are the darker parts of the owl. I used crumb cake for the lighter parts of the owl, and that is both the light and dark. I colored first with my light color, and then I highlighted all the way around my little owl in the darker color. And then I used the dark real red for his feet, his beak, and his inner ear. Now, when I did his eyes, the first color that I used was the dark soft suede, and I colored the inner eye in the dark soft suede. And then I went over the top of the dark soft suede with the light, and it gave me a mix of the two colors, and I ended up with a medium brown for his eye. So that's what I did there. So right now, while we're waiting for this to dry, I'm going to cut around his little hands because I have die cut 2 hearts from the Give It a Whirl dies, the medium and the small, and we're going to use those today. I like to use a piece of glass when I am using an X-Acto knife. I just think that it cuts best on glass. It's just something that I'm used to, and I think it takes time. If you want to use a self-healing mat, you can do that. So I'm going to go along the top part of the owl. So his whole line that the artist drew at the top of his wings, I'm doing both of all the way across. And then at the bottom, I'm going to come up and do in those little parts of the wing. I'll show you as I go. But I just wanted you to have an idea. It's easier to see on that one uncolored. So I'm just working my way slowly down his wing area, even into the crumb cake part here, because I want it to be wide enough for that large heart to fit. Okay, so it's from this line to this line. Now at the bottom, I'm going to come here inside these pieces like so. So I'm going to start on this side. And then I'm going to come in here into the wing. I'm going to come down. This little bunny is under my feet. It's my daughter's bunny. He is a free roam bunny, so he is always in my craft room with me. And he loves, when I'm talking and doing videos, he loves to come near me. If I'm not doing videos, he could care less what I'm doing. When I'm talking, he is nosy, I think, and he thinks I'm talking to somebody. He wants to be part of the attention. But when I'm in here designing and it's quiet, he wants nothing to do with me. I just want to make sure that I got a good opening. There we go. All right. So now that that's been cut, we're going to go ahead and fussy cut around him. And for this one, of course, I'm going to use my paper snips. Let me get this glass mat out of the way. I keep that next to my desk on the floor. So we're going to just, I'll start over here, I guess. We're just going to fussy cut. I do like to leave a little border all the way around, but it's not a very big one. And we're going to work around our owl here. I am a little slower doing these projects, guys, because I still haven't had my appointment yet, but next week, I can't wait to go on Tuesday. So 1 week away. our way around all these little hairs that he has sticking up. I think he's so cute though. All right, around this ear, we're almost to the home stretch. And wiggle my scissor just slightly. There we go. Adorable. I'm gonna tuck the little heart in his arms. So we're gonna slide it in from the top, and then we're gonna open that bottom section. I don't want it covering the face, so I just kind of push it down until it's tucked below his little beak. Isn't that precious? Oh, I love it. I'm gonna set him off to the side. This little heart piece here is gonna be glued right here onto this piece. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that as well. I'm gonna grab my silicone mat before I make a mess, because this is a tiny heart. And with my luck, I will make a mess. I'm just gonna put a little bit of adhesive, grab my tweezer, and we will put this heart right there. All right, so let's set that to the side. Let's go back to our box. We're gonna put it together with our adhesive. So the first thing I'm gonna do, see how it's dry and clear? It's not completely dry yet, but it's good enough that once it's all clear, I can give it the heads up. So I'm gonna put glue on both of these tabs. And I'm gonna start with one side first. I'm bringing the tab in and I'm bringing that box piece to it. I want it to be square in this corner, so I'm gonna line up the score mark with where I cut right there and just hold on to that till it sets. And then I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. So I'm gonna take my tab, I'm gonna make it even with the cut edge, and I'm gonna go ahead and glue that down. All right. I'm gonna take my microfiber cloth here and I'm gonna wipe the window sheet on the inside. Now the next thing I'm gonna glue is this top, and this bottom is gonna get glued right here to the sides. Okay, so that is gonna be the next step. So we're gonna put adhesive on this piece here, and on this one at the bottom. And I'm gonna hold them in place one at a time. I'm just holding my box. I'm gonna bring this part back. And you can stick your finger in there to really help bond it, or you can attach your, you can put your bone folder in there. And I like to use the bone folder a lot, and I give it a nice press. I'll do the same thing on the other side. I got a little glue on my finger, so I'm holding my finger up, but so that will adhere the two sides of your box. Now you have this little flap where these pieces are gonna come in and tuck in right there. And that's where your chocolate's gonna go, and then this is gonna wrap around. Looking good so far, right? Let's go ahead and grab our little chocolate bar. So cute this is. So I'm gonna open our little chocolate owl. And we're gonna pull on this piece here. I'm gonna grab my tongs. I don't want to touch him, but I will grab him with the tongs here. And I'm going to lay him on his side and drop him in there. Oh, look how cute he is. And then we're gonna tuck these tabs in like so. And then this piece is gonna be the front that wraps around. Looking cute so far, right? All right, so I'm gonna discard this, but if you guys wanna get another quick picture of it, there you go. All right, I'm gonna get my tongs out of the way. This is the fun part. This part is so awesome. Okay, so we have our DSP, which is gonna go on the outside on this piece here. And this is our Abigail Rose. And so we're gonna go ahead and attach that to the front. So I'm gonna grab my silicone mat. We're going to put our adhesive on there. Precious. I'm actually going to lay it like this so that I can see what I'm doing. And I want to make sure that I have a nice border on all 4 sides. Looks good to me. Now, I've used our layering circle dies, and so I'm going to attach this. It's just a very tiny little bit of red all the way around, but just a nice pop. So we're going to go ahead and attach that layering circle on there. I love that tiny pop of red, but it's just enough. Red is such an intense color that I think it's just perfect. So let's go ahead and put our little owl on there. We're going to use dimensionals. You can see I stamped him twice. Whenever I don't like how something looks, I just give it another shot, flip the paper over, and go for it. And that's what I did here. So I'm going to add 1 there, and then I'm going to use my minis. I'm going to put 2, 1 at the bottom on either side of him. All right, so there is that. So I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool. I like to use the pointy end to remove my backings on my dimensionals. Isn't this so cute? Oh my gosh, guys, I love it. So here is our owl. Oh my goodness, look how cute you are holding that heart. Precious, precious. Okay, and we're gonna add some dimensionals to the back of that as well. We're not gonna attach it yet, but we'll put 3 and it'll be ready when it's its turn. All right, put that to the side. Now we're going to stamp on a piece of Real Red, and we're gonna use the sentiment from Something Fancy, and it says, "Nothing fancy, just love." I think that's so cute. We're gonna use our Early Espresso to match our Early Espresso paper. Don't you just love that about Stampin' Up? The coordination of all the colors. I absolutely adore it. So we're gonna ink this up and we're gonna stamp it on this scrap of Real Red. And I'm gonna clean that before I stick my hand in it or something crazy. All right. And let's get all this stuff out of the way. I tell you what, I get a little out of hand, don't I, with all the things. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and use my paper snips, and I am gonna fussy cut around this, and I'm gonna start up here where the F is, and I'm just gonna give it a thin border like I did with my owl, but I'm not gonna get too crazy or too intricate in here. I'm just gonna come around and hug, but not get too close, just enough that we have a cute little border all the way around our words. I'm gonna tuck in slightly here, but not crazy, just where I get to that Y. And we're gonna go around the Y. And then the word nothing at the top is straight. So we're gonna go ahead and leave it that way. I'm just gonna come straight up next to it. And then I'm gonna go straight across like that. What do you guys think? Pretty good, right? Can you see that? I think you're good. I think I'm in the camera. Okay. So again, I'm gonna put some dimensionals on this. Let's see, I'll put 2 big ones, and then I will put a mini dimensional right here. All right, so that will wait to be put on as well, but at least we're making progress. So that's the outside. So on the inside here, we're gonna put a piece of, oh, I forgot to tell you the size, the designer series paper, and it's the same size as this piece here. It's 3 3/4 by 2 3/4. So 3 3/4 by 2 3/4 of early espresso. And then the tag that we cut right here, we're gonna glue that on top, and that's where we are gonna add, you know, whatever we wanna say to whoever we're delivering this to. So before we glue it down, I'm gonna glue this onto here. So let me get my adhesive. And in the Adorable Owls stamp set, there's a sentiment that says, hoot, hoot, you're so cute, which I think is precious for the inside. So we are going to use that saying as well. I'm going to slide this piece in the middle here. Get that attached. And let's go ahead and stamp that. So same thing, I am going to stamp my words, hoot, hoot, you're so cute. But I think I'm gonna punch first. This is a 3/4 inch piece, and I want the same size here. The piece that I'm using, the piece of crumb cake, is 3/4 inch by 2 3/4 inch. So I want that little scallop end. And I think this time, we're gonna put it on the inside. Don't you think it will be cute? So I may, I think I'm gonna hug it from this side, same as I did here, but I'm just gonna put it on the inside. So we're gonna go ahead and stamp, and we're gonna also use early espresso. And of course I have to find the sentiment. What have I done with it? Here it is, right next to me. Hoot, hoot, you're so cute. I tend to lose things. I get so excited about stamping and then I lose things. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and add that right there. Such a cute sentiment. Hoot, hoot, you're so cute. Let me clean that. We'll close this. And then we're gonna glue our closure on before we glue this in, because that piece is gonna be tucked, hidden underneath. I think I'm gonna put this from this side like this. So let me trim it down. And then we'll put some glue on there. My chair is so creaky. Okay, there we go. Hoot, hoot, you're so cute. Precious. And then make sure that see, I wasn't straight. I will trim it now. All right, perfect. Put that to the side. Let's work on our closure. So here's our closure. And we're gonna use 3/8 of an inch Velcro thin clear fasteners. I think I ordered them on Amazon, but I might have gotten them at Joann Fabrics. But they're the thin, clear fasteners. Velcro is the brand. And I'm just gonna go ahead and cut this one from the package and put it right there to the side and tuck the rest of them. So see, you get 56 circles and they're 3/8 of an inch. They work really good because I tend to use a smaller piece, like a 1/2 inch, and that's what this is, a 1/2 inch piece. So it works out really well. So what I want is the thin, not the fuzzy side, but the other side. So I have to figure out which one's which by just pulling these apart slightly. Okay, so the fuzzy side I want in the back. So this is the thin side. So I'm going to attach the thin side to my little heart tab here. Right there. Okay, and let's put this one to the side. This is the one we're working on. Make sure that my flaps are in their proper spots. They are. Okay, so this piece is going to come out from there, okay? And it's gonna hug, and you wanna make sure that it's centered right here, right? And so it's gonna hug like this and then work its way around. So what I wanna do is I wanna pull the back. Now that I have it held, I'm gonna pull the back off of there, okay? And I'm gonna make sure it wraps around and it looks nice and it presses into place. There's the little heart. All right, so now when I open this, I'm gonna hold it on the side and I'm gonna put adhesive, wet adhesive, down this strip. I love how fast this adhesive dries. I think it's amazing. All right, so we're gonna hold that in place. We're gonna bring this down. And then we're gonna close our box. I wanna make sure it's nice and tight. And we're gonna hold that in place just for a second. While we're letting it bond, we can pull the backs off of our little owl. I'm gonna close this one so that you guys can see. So we're gonna grab our take your pick tool. This should be bonding. And we're gonna add our little owl up top. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is so cute. All right, and pull these guys off as well. Put our words there. Nothing fancy, just love. I'm gonna tuck that right there on the end by his little foot. I wanna make sure that it's straight. I have to hold it up, okay. And then I will show you. I just don't want it to be crooked. All right, so there's that. So now we're gonna unfasten our Velcro. And when we open, now we're gonna cover this with this little piece, okay? So let's throw my wrappers away from my Velcro backing. We're gonna put adhesive on our early espresso. Bring it back in here. And we are going to go ahead and attach this. Again, this piece was 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. This red piece was what fell out when we cut our window. The front panel, the Abigail Rose, was also 3 3/4 by 2 3/4. I used scrap paper for my red scallop and my early espresso, and a red scrap for this, a white scrap for my owl, and then just red scraps to do the little hearts. I don't have any dimensionals for those, but the window sheet was 2.5 by 3.5. The DSP was 3 3/4 by 2 3/4. The inside early espresso was 3 3/4 by 2 3/4. This piece falls out of here, and the main piece was 5 1/4 by 10 7/8 of an inch. You can cut that little 1/8 of an inch. It worked out fine both ways. I've done them both ways, and I think they turn out great. I hope that you guys enjoyed this project. I absolutely loved making it with you. I'm very excited to have you with me on my channel. And please subscribe. I would greatly appreciate that. Again, the Something Fancy bundle and a pack of dimensionals is all you need to earn the adorable owls for free. Here's our cute project. And don't forget that we also used the Give It a Whirl dies for the hearts and the layering circles. I'm gonna tuck those over here. And I think we're good now. Thanks for being here, guys. Hit that thumbs up. If you click the bell, you'll get notifications when I post new videos, and I hope to see you here again soon. Thanks for being here. This is Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. Happy stamping!